What didn't you know you did wrong until you started living with a woman? When I get into bed, I lie down too hard, causing the bed to shake violently. I have since learned to lie down more gently. Getting a memory foam mattress was a game changer for this. My husband used to bounce me awake, or make the whole bed shake. Now the memory foam just absorbs his violence. My boyfriend broke the frame of our old couch by flopping down on it regularly. Glad to have a new one though. Can't just use towels for generic tasks. Specific towels have specific purposes. Failure to comply is sacrilege and punishable by immediate scolding. My girlfriend has good rags that can only be used for certain things. A ripped up old t-shirt is a good rag. That makes some sense actually. An old torn up t-shirt is still a soft, clean piece of fabric, perfect for washing windows or dusting. But if you use it to wipe up motor oil one time, you can't really use it for anything else. It's almost like there's a really organized system and a best way to do things in the home, which has been developed over thousands of years and passed down. I tried to break up, she said I was wrong, 3 years later still together. Bro, same. Like 5 years ago I said we were done and I was breaking up with her. She just straight up looked at me and said no. I was so confused and speechless. Got married last week. Edit, for those of you talking shit, we've been together for 10 years. I wanted to break up because I thought sex was a big part of life and wanted to screw around with other people. Turns out I was wrong and was only trying to do so to justify to myself that I still had game and I struggled with not liking how I looked or who I was. Those 10 years were not perfect, but she's the one for me. She is my other half. I'm good at things she's not, and she's good at things I'm not. I didn't actually know how to communicate my feelings. Also, I learned how to give gifts that are meaningful. I'd like to acquire such knowledge too. Mind elaborating? If it's not too hard or time-consuming to explain. I'll try to make this as short as possible. I never learned how to pay attention to, comprehend and express my feelings. Especially the emotional gooey-feely ones, but also when things would bother me, so I wouldn't work on things when they'd bother me, I'd just leave. As in, the relationship. So through many years of ruining things, much heartache, and painful growth, she had the love and patience to not only see that there was potential in me, but also to not give up on me. I had the emotional tenderness of a brick basically. It took hitting rock bottom to understand that if I didn't learn to do those things, I'd lose the best thing that ever happened to me. If it wasn't for her, I'd be drunk in a ditch somewhere, probably alone. Now I'm only sometimes drunk, completely happy and in love in a functional relationship. She's basically a saint for putting up with me having been emotionally disabled. And the gift thing, well, there is joy in giving to others, and seeing how much happiness she would get from seeing people's reaction to gifts made me stop wanting to keep her from doing so, stop being selfish and lean to take joy also in making my friends and loved ones happy about a thoughtful gift. I was an emotionally dysfunctional man. After living with her, I'm less like an actual porcupine and more like a plush toy porcupine. Joking aside, I've learned a lot of good stuff, like caring for various things. For example, how to properly store fruits and vegetables so that they don't go bad, how to take care of textiles, clothes so that they can be used for longer, etc. Also that I didn't eat nearly enough fiber before. Loads of things. People say that their girlfriends nag a lot, but honestly there's a lot of good stuff to be learned if you just listen. This is, regrettably sometimes, very true. I remember my grandfather once told me, "Marry a woman that worries about you." And I didn't know what he meant until I got into a serious relationship where we were living together. You may not want somebody to tell you that that's not how you store bananas or bread lasts longer if you freeze it, and don't thaw it until near use, or to remind you to get that weird cough that won't go away checked out. But you should appreciate the fact that there's a person in the world who gives enough of a shit about you to tell you when you're being dumb. This is why guys with close friends family live longer. We're social creatures. It's good to look out for each other. The bucket of water after mopping shouldn't go on the sink, it should go on the toilet. Do you mean that you shouldn't empty the contents of the bucket into the sink, but instead empty it into the toilet? Correct. The sink is usually near food and or clean dishes and or surfaces where food is prepared. Less chance of contamination with dirty floor water. You're also going to prevent clogs in the sink. Folding towels. There is a right and proper way to fold them. so I learned the right way. But after a couple years, that way changed and I was back to square one. This is funny to me, only because as a single woman I had no idea I both fold towels wrong and load the dishwasher wrong until I married my first husband. Pretty much how to take care of my hair and skin better. Also made me better at taking care of myself in general. For example, I put coconut oil in my hair before I go swimming. I learned this from a girlfriend I had in Hawaii. Apparently it helps seal moisture in as well as protect your hair from damage. Whatever it does, my hair gets softer, smoother and bigger after it dries. I swear it never looked so fabulous in my life. After reading some comments, I just want to clarify. It's not like a shampoo or styling product. You don't need that much. Too much going down the drains can mess up your pipes. So please don't pour goops of it over your head. I just rub a few drops between my hands, then tousle my hair until it has a nice sheen. Apparently shampoo goes on the scalp and conditioner goes on the loose hair, not the other way around. That's what I thought. Guess we're both wrong. I've got longer hair than most men and I have no idea how you would control where shampoo conditioner go unless your hair is down to your shoulders almost. Look fellas, I thought that too until I let my hair grow out for 3 years. Once you do it right, there's no going back. My hair stays fresh for literal days after shampooing and conditioning. The trick is to let the conditioner soak in your hair while you wash your body. The act of doing laundry is not 3 separate chores: washing, drying, folding and putting away. It is one chore and you either did it or not. OMG, I am dying from laughing. I went away for a week and my husband said, "I have kept up on laundry." I came home to a mountain of clean laundry. I was not impressed. Ex-girlfriend would do that and pile it up on her bed and then sleep on it. That's really weird. You have to move it to the computer chair and then move it back on the morning when you need to sit. Not having a trash can in the bathroom with a lid and a bin liner. A package of pads is also hugely appreciated. Giving her space while giving her affection. Apparently, when she says all she wants to do is sit down and watch her novellas in peace, she actually means she wants me to sit down with her. But not for too long. Just long enough. Is she a cat? Unironically, cat social strategy works on women. Don't be overeager. Let them know you're not a threat and get comfortable around you on their own timetable. Don't go for heavy petting before letting them sniff and vibe check you first. Don't assume that they like belly rubs just because your last cat did. Staring can make them uncomfortable. Don't disturb them while they sleep. Don't cling on to them when they make it clear they've had enough of your presence. They'll come back when they feel like it. Oh, and being the one with the food goes a long way. Not drying off in the shower before stepping on the bath mat, therefore minimizing how wet the bath mat gets. I wish my son would learn this. He seems to just get out of the shower with the water still running to maximize the soakage of my bath mat. That my bed can have just the one pillow. Apparently I need 1,000,000 of them. My girlfriend roasted me for months because I only had 2 pillows. I finally added 2 really nice pillows, and the delight on her face was next level. I still use the one really shitty pillow I've always used. Apparently I'm supposed to go to the doctor every now and then. Nah, just go once you're on brink of death. You laugh, but my appendix burst and I had sepsis for a few days until the uncontrollable shaking made me think I should probably go to the ER about this. The nurses later told me they thought they were looking at a walking dead man and doctors' nurses' aides from across the hospital would regularly visit to see if I had died yet. I think they had a poll going. That I was damaging my pans by rinsing and soaking them right after using them. Now I just let them sit on the stove for a week so they are nice and cool before I might wash them. It's fine if you wait a minute or 2 and use hot water, I believe. As long as you aren't flash cooling it, you should be okay. Bed sheets. I used to cheap out, but pampering yourself in nice bed sheets makes it feel like you're staying at a fancy hotel every night. I read once that since you spend 1/3 of your life in your bed, it should be the one thing you never cheap out on. Doesn't mean the most expensive item, per se, but the best quality for you items. Apparently my farts will make a room uninhabitable. My buddies and I are all industrial workers and have generally lost our sense of smell. She is still quite capable of smelling. This is actually a great fear of mine. I've become accustomed to my own farts, so sometimes I let a silent one loose and forget that others might not be immune as I am. I breathe wrong. What a fact. How the hell? You know the dangling thing in your throat? It allows you to make the Chewbacca noise. Well, mine stretched one time and never went back to the same size. The problem is sometimes when I breathe now, when my nose is stuffed up 'cause of this damn pollen, it sounds like a quiet snore and apparently it's annoying. Married 8 years. Just play the Return of the Jedi song while you're breathing and she won't be able to say anything. I cough provocatively apparently. That's hilarious. How does one cough provocatively? According to my husband, I coughed aloud. I guess the factory settings got screwed up somewhere along the way. I have no idea either, unfortunately. Apparently, I deliberately cough in a way that infuriates her. I'm doing it on purpose because I want to annoy her as much as possible for reasons. Been together 22 years. I love her to bits, but I can't help thinking sometimes that I'd have done less time for murder. Sleeping on the bed with my going out clothes. I used to plop down immediately after I get home. Apparently one does not drink wine directly from the bottle. What didn't you know you did wrong until you started living with a woman? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.